Okay, that's the global market action. How will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. Reema, Surbhi and Manglam are joining me today. Reema, let me come across to you first up. What is the market setup looking like today?
Well, the US markets did end in the green, as you pointed out, but the rally fizzled out. The Dow at one point of time was up close to about 700 points. Then it dipped into the red. It was down 60 points and finally ending with a fractional gain of about 0.3%. The rally continued in NASDAQ. NASDAQ was up close to about 1%. The kicker, the big news that came out, the second consecutive downward surprise in the consumer price data coming out of the United States. For the month of November, it was at 7.1% lower than street expectations. So what will the street be tracking today? Perhaps some global facing sectors, because at the end of the day, US markets did close in the green. So metals and IT could be on your radar. In fact, yesterday, Infosys ADR and Wipro ADR, both of them were up nearly about 1%. Flows, by the way, have started thinning out. Yesterday, you had, the DIIs buy 36 crore in the cash market, and the FIs also bought 620 crore in the cash market. And the good part about the FI is, just last week, they were selling close to about 1,000 crore. So that sentiment appears to have turned. This is also the last big week of economic data. Today in the Indian markets, you've got WPI. Later at 11:30 p.m., you've got the FOMC decision. Tomorrow, Bank of England, ECB will be talking about their final rate hike. But after that, in the last 2 weeks of 2022, we're not going to be getting any big news flow, no big economic data. So I guess that year-end dynamics, quiet trade is likely to play out. This morning, the SGX Nifty is suggesting a good start, up close to about 100 points.
Oh yes, another day of green on the screen is what is expected. Reema, thank you so much for joining us with all those cues. Finally, over to Surbhi. Not finally, actually, Surbhi. She's joining in to tell us about all the stocks that are in focus today. Surbhi.
Hi, thanks for that. So I have a few stocks on my radar this morning. The first one is Paytm, where the board approves buyback of 1 crore shares for up to 850 crores for a maximum price of 810 per share. Next is Yes Bank, where the company is going to issue 185 crore shares at 14 per share and 128 crore warrants at 15 per warrant to Carlyle and Advent. TVS Motors, the company is planning to launch Euro 5 compliant two-wheelers in Turkey. Ultratech, the company commissioned 1.9 million tons per annum clinker facility in Rajasthan. With this, their total cement manufacturing in India is now at 121 million tons per annum. IFB, the board approves infusion of 97 crores in IFB refrigeration. Piramal Enterprise, the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Piramal Capital and Housing Finance, acquires 100% stake in PRL Agastya for 90 crores. Bayer Crop Science, where the company temporarily discontinues operations at its formulation plant in Gujarat. And lastly, Adani Transmission, where it incorporates a wholly owned subsidiary, Adani Cooling Systems.
Surbhi, thank you so much for all those stocks that are in focus today. Finally, let me go across to Manglam, joining in with all the cues from the FNO space. Hey, Manglam.
Good morning. So yesterday was a good session for our markets. No two ways about that. The Nifty ended about 100 points higher, above 18,600. It was led higher by the Nifty Bank, and the IT index actually, was the one that powered the index ahead with a gain of almost 1.2%. The cash market flows were, matching that as well. 620 crores bought by the FIs, a first purchase after the last 5 or 6 trading sessions. The DIIs bought as well. So net institutional flows were positive. Even in index futures, the FIs added a few longs and covered an equal number of shorts, as a result of which, we did see the FI longs inch up. But the internals told you that the longs were added on the Nifty Bank, which was outperforming, and the short covering took place on the Nifty, which saw an open interest cut of almost 1.3%. I was talking about the longs inching up. Remember, at the start of the week, the longs were at 58%, and now they're at 61%, with the short positions being down from 42% to 39% itself. Even in index options, we've been making this point over the last few days that, if the Nifty sustains above 18,550, there would be short covering of calls. And there you have it, almost 69,000 short call contracts covered. And at the same time, we saw puts being written. So that's telling you that there has been a fair amount of support build up for the markets. 18,500 call, 28 lakh shares unwound out there for a premium of almost 160 odd rupees. We have 18,600 call as well, which has almost a crore shares in open interest. For a premium outstanding of close to around 90 rupees. So if the Nifty sustains closer to that 18,650 to 18,700 mark, these call writers would cover as well, unless we see some congestion there. At the lower levels, 18,550 put, 18,600 put, as well as 18,500 put. All of them together added close to around 50-60 lakh shares in open interest. And that's telling you that the base for the Nifty has moved higher from 18,350 to close to around 18,450 to 18,500. That is something we'll have to watch out for on the way up as well. Will the up move that the SGX Nifty is suggesting will sustain or not, because it's a 100-point up move that opens the Nifty right in the middle of congestion zone.